Feelings for you. Feelings for you. Feelings for you. Feelings for you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the King of Nordic Overwatch Cup. I am Lovi, your host and caster, and next to me is...
Sang is my name, and I'll be your co-caster for tonight.
And to explain what's going on, today we have NIP playing for us, but there's a bummer.
Yeah, it totally is, because Iceland couldn't participate this week. There was some mix-up with the team, so sadly, none of them could come here tonight.
And we have a bracket, which we will show. There you see that Finland will win by a walkover, sadly. And our first match today is gonna be...
Denmark versus Sweden. But on the upside, of course, it's Finland who has NIP representing them for tonight. So that is pretty awesome.
So you have to look forward for this final. And that final will be 9 p.m. CST. And come back here, watch that, and do not miss the first match to see that who will face off Finland in the first, or in the final. Not the first match, but in the final.
Yeah, definitely, because it's either Sweden or Denmark, and they have been fearsome these past 2 weeks.
So we really have some good matches to look forward tonight, right, Sang?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I look forward definitely to see Sweden versus Denmark, and either of the teams, of course, going to face off versus Finland. And I look forward to see that too, of course, because everyone knows about NIP. Everyone knows that what a great organization they are, but we haven't seen that much of them in Overwatch yet.
Definitely not. NIP is currently very fresh in the Overwatch scene, like a lot of the pro teams organizations that are out there. But they have established their team. They're currently one of the higher rankings in Europe. But we also have some awesome moments from last week, just like we will have this week. And we will just show you a really quick recap of those moments.
This time, I'll finish the job.
A Graviton Surge been used, there comes the deploy and a huge AoE being dealt. Will get countered though, there comes NACL, will be able to heal up his team. And I think Iceland can handle this as Onigod is dealing massive damage as well. He gets NACL, it's a very big pick to get. Will stay alive, they use the time shift, will get away from it, still gonna DPS so much and no one's really getting onto him. So many headshots being dealt, Onigod will be able to survive it as well on very low HP, almost got the health again, will try to jump back, will use it just in the nick of time with 1 HP left, he gets the kill on Arnathor, he comes back again, going on a seal, he gets him as Onigod is dealing damage absolutely everywhere. There comes the overtime, 99% for Norway, 0 for Iceland, and it does look too good for Iceland right now. Envision dealing damage onto the monkey, he's gonna stay alive, that's the Arnathor has been killed, and I think this will be it. High Noon being deployed, gonna get the turret, gonna get knocked back and out of sight, out of bounds, and goodbye Invasion. There we go, and a massive pulse bomb being deployed. That's a triple kill for Iceland and almost gets the total ace. Here Denmark goes in again. Nindra's got the whole hog up now, waiting for nano boost, going in. Still no nano boost administered. Will it not even matter as he just goes to ham onto the Swedish backline. Head and Stavnish is called out as Aleki gets the resurrection. Well, not sure how many he got though. That's the Graviton Surge will be enough there as well. He gets Swisselnosse. The tides have turned and Swisselnosse is the one who gets hooked. He gets killed and Denmark just keeps pushing. Must be quite a special idea behind this. Oh, here we go. Sweden going in. That's the Graviton Surge. A huge AoE damage being dealt, but it gets resurrected. The entire Danish team gets resurrected again as Sweden keeps pushing. They still got the upper hand. Can Denmark turn this around? Doesn't look like it. And even though Denmark had a huge resurrection, they were in a bad position. The AoE damage was still there, and Sweden got almost a wipe. Looking for Bastion. Is it only going to be able to get it? Yes, they are, as they get an unofficial wipe. Speaking of the Iris, there comes Sweden. Will have the huge heal. There comes the Graviton Surge as well, but through the shield, will they be able to get it? Yes, they do! They get the pick onto Denmark! They get them all! As there's the ace! It's not too easy to be the team on the upside. On the other hand, here they go. Snisselnosse is the one on the camera. He gets 2 picks immediately with the whole hog. Stays onto the backline. Will try to recuperate him for a second. Missing that first hook. Still gets the kill onto Sheena. Didn't even matter that the hook missed. I am sort of speechless.
I think Norway came out with this attitude. We're gonna have fun. We do not care too much about our ultimates, and I think that relieved a lot of stress on them and made them just perform even better than the Danish team. As you saw by last week, this is not a tournament you want to miss. We have some awesome players performing in these qualifications, and we have some awesome plays coming out. You really want to look forward for those tonight, since we have the NIP playing for us in the finals. But Sang, what are these teams playing for?
Well, that's the interesting part, because the winner of each week are actually moving forward to the playoffs, where they will face off versus some well-established professional teams in the Overwatch scene. So, for example, they're gonna face off versus Misfits, Melty, and Reunited.
And those are some really big teams to show the world that you are one of these great teams that the sponsors want to pick up. And you also play for $5,000 in cash prizes.
Yeah, but especially, I mean, this is an opportunity really, to just get out there, to make yourself known. All of these big plays we just saw, those are some players actually might get picked up by these professional organizations in the long run, or of course by the other organizations that are looking into the Overwatch scene.
This is definitely something that you can show the rest of the world that we are a team that you can count on. We are the team that will be the new Envious, undefeated, and we will just go and sweep every Overwatch tournament that there is. And we really see how they perform and what their teamwork is in the team.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting part here is that Overwatch is such a new game, that there are so many different sort of strategies you can utilize. You can really grow as an organization and as a team together and become one of the best. And there are not that many actually new games. I mean, looking at all of these AAA games like Overwatch, like Counter-Strike, StarCraft and such, they aren't released that often, at least not in the professional scene. So every time that happens, it's something new, it's something exciting, and we're looking forward to it.
And when these new games releases, we always have those unfound diamonds that you really have to dig out and put them under pressure to make them shine. And that's what we like doing here in the King of Nordic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like, am I the only one thinking about Aladdin? They're like a diamond in the rough. We're gonna find him, the special one. Am I the only one to get that sort of reference?
We are the Aladdin here. We are the diamond in the rough that you need to look out for.
Well, maybe not you and me, but the players are at least.
Aren't we a little bit of a diamond though?
Well, yeah, you are a diamond, I can be the rough.
Oh, come on now. You're also the diamond. You are my eminent co-caster, my play-by-play who follows everything that happens in this game. And you're also famous for some other games.
Well, like it's one game really, it's League of Legends.
But still, there's big things happening.
But it is. It definitely is. So, for tonight, we're not the only ones gonna have some fun, but our viewers gonna have it as well, because we have a lot of contests tonight.
And these contests are based on Twitter, and today's prizes are two Overwatch Origins keys, just like last week. And to get that, you have to tweet a picture of yourself and your favorite hero, send it in to us, hashtag King of Nordic and hashtag G2A. But we also have even more to give out. We're just like Oprah, everybody gets something.
Yeah, everybody gets something. So we also got these bad boys, these G2A gift cards that you can get if you tweet at hashtag G2A, hashtag King of Nordic, and you tell us which team you think will be the next one who gets picked up by a big organization, a big esports organization. So, which esports organization do you think is going to be the next one in the Overwatch scene? And tweet us that at hashtag G2A and hashtag King of Nordic.
And you can also tweet at us at hashtag King of Nordic to just comment on the game, interact with us casters, and just show your support for your teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's always so much fun reading your tweets every night. And I think that last week it was the first week, right? I had some of my old students actually tweeting.
It was the first week we have some of your students watching the show.
Yeah, and it was really funny. So if you look at us, if you like what you see, or even if you don't like what you see, just write a hashtag and tell us what you think. Of course, please don't write us like anything mean, because that would make me sad.
We will cry a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely will. But please, give us some of your thoughts on the show, and we will be so happy to feature you.
And keep it family friendly.
Yeah, definitely.
And something that I want to mention, just like we said, since there's so many diamonds that still needs to be discovered, a lot of these organizations have not picked up a team yet. I think that Navi doesn't have a team, so does Virtus. So maybe some of these organizations are looking for you to join their team, which is really interesting.
Yeah, so please look into that. But for now, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hey guys, let's do a racing game. Ready? Yeah. Yes. Woo! Yes. Come on.
How far are you gonna be behind me?
If you just joined us, once again we want to push that we have 2 contests today going on our Twitter. Hashtag King of Nordic, hashtag G2A to win either a $20 gift card or send in your selfie to win one of the Overwatch Origins Edition's key. And that's... we're giving away so much.
Yeah,
it's so awesome.
There's a lot. And also, well, that's actually what we're giving away. I was thinking about something else, to be honest.
But we are kinda giving away more, but not today?
Yeah, actually we are, because on Friday you'll see that it's not only Overwatch we do here at King of Nordic, but also Counter-Strike Go, Global Offensive. And on Friday it's actually the finals, where 4 of the best teams in the Nordic region are gonna face off. Not quite like the normal situation we got here at King of Nordic, where it's a King of the Hill tournament, but on Friday it's 4 of the best teams that have qualified throughout the last series that will face off to show which is the king of the king. So do not miss out on that.
And during that Friday, we are giving away this Samsung ultra-wide monitor. It's 34 inches wide, it is really big, it's really expensive, and all you have to do to win this is you go to our Facebook page, like and comment. There's more instructions on our Facebook page, facebook.com/King of Nordic.
Yeah, so you don't want to miss that.
Go there, participate, and we hope that we will give one of you guys one of our awesome monitors that we have here.
And also, of course, we have tonight's competitions as well.
We're really nice guys.
Yes, we are.
We will provide you with the best things that you want.
And all you have to do is go onto Twitter, go onto Facebook, click stuff and write stuff. It's not harder than that.
And as a viewer, you can communicate and join us at hashtag King of Nordic, but as a team, you can join us in another way, right, Sang?
Yeah, definitely. If you want to join us with your Overwatch team, you have to look at these web pages. If you're from Sweden, you want to go to Sweden, publiclear.se. Iceland, it's esports.is. Norway got gamer.no. Denmark is esport.dk. And finally, for Finland, you go to fel.gg if you want to join this Overwatch tournament for next week, which actually is the last chance they get for now.
It's the last chance to get into the playoffs, where you really want to be, because you can show off your skills against some of the 4 pro teams that we have invited. And it's just awesome.
Yeah, it is. And also you can win $5,000.
In cash prizes for
Yeah.
just playing online.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So for now as well, you need to look into the G2A contest where you can win these cool €20 gift cards.
And we will actually bring up an example here from one in the studio to just show you guys, give you some ideas, fire up your creativity on how you should do to win one of these gift cards.
While we wait for that, let's talk about tonight's matches, because we got a lot coming up. First off, it's Sweden versus Denmark.
And this is one of the matches that we're looking forward to, because we will see what is needed to face off against NIP.
Yeah, definitely. Because for these teams to go versus NIP, I mean, even though we know that NIP is a new team in the Overwatch scene, it's still a very well-known organization. They're not going to just pick up any players. They're definitely not just going to let them walk around and play however they want to. They're going to have great strategies coming out. They're going to have a lot of team synergy, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So let's look into that, actually, as these first teams, Sweden versus Denmark, are going into the map vetoes.
And now we will see what kind of strategy either Denmark or Sweden is opting for. Are they opting for that control point? Are they opting for a more hybrid sort of map? Or maybe just a push the point map? One of the most clear, most forward maps that we have in Overwatch.
So far, the only team we have seen going for this sort of a King of the Hill style play is Norway for last week. So the rest of the teams are looking more forward to the pushing maps, and I'm not quite sure as to why this is.
I think that Norway described their strategy and why they went for the control point very well. They said that they had this great aggressive playstyle. They wanted to make a laugh more than a win, and they didn't really care about how many ultimates they spent. They rather spent one more ultimate than one less ultimate. And I think that is one of the important points that you need in a control map, because you constantly need to establish dominance on the other team. You need to look at every angle on the point and just be there at all times. And some teams might have sort of a setback by this, because a lot of teams seems to be working around each other. They have this great team play and this great communication that makes them more of a unit than the separate players. And Norway was kind of unorthodox and made the different way around. They were more individual pairs or individual players than a whole team. Of course, they could perform as a unit whenever they needed to. We saw that in the finals last week. But they were also this team that was so flexible that they could move around the map in solo picks and 1 versus 1s and win them fairly constantly.
Yeah, and this game is all about adapting. That is why you have the free hero switch. You can change the different heroes, you can adapt to your opponent's playstyle, and I feel that what happened last week, that was no team really could adapt to the Norwegian playstyle. So we'll see here if Denmark and Sweden has got what it takes, as we are almost finished the veto, and we're actually looking at least Lijiang Tower being the control point map still available. So it might be played for tonight.
We also see 2 control point maps here and 2 attack and defense maps. We see Volskaya Industry, Nepal and Lijiang Tower being picked. And both Nepal and Lijiang Tower are those sort of control point maps where you have to go in, establish dominance and really be everywhere so the enemy team can't sneak in any sort of angle and try to attack your team from behind. While Volskaya the Industry is more about the push sort of scenario.
Yeah.
You're kind of working around some big choke points, and you're also working around some of the big timings where you have to push or when you want to go through for the attacking team. But just to quickly give some credits to these teams, who are they? What are they playing?
Well, for Sweden, we got Latex, Epps, Axel, Perky, Zcor, and Rat, who is playing tonight.
And for Denmark, this week, once again, we have Copenhagen Flames. And last week, they tweeted us and said, tonight we're not Copenhagen Flames, We are Denmark and we're representing our country, and that's exactly the spirit we want. But for them, once again, we have Fnif, Nindres, Effect, Balok, Gamble and Dafran. And we're looking forward to see them once again perform, because last week they were so sick.
Yeah. They were, and not in a bad way, not in like a coughing way.
Oh no, of course
No,
not.
but in like a good way, where it's like, sick place, bro.
They were mad at the points. They did get overtrumped by Norway in a way because of their new explosive playstyle, but still Denmark was one of those teams that really showed who they are and why they're here.
So let's see this. It's Denmark on the blue side, Sweden on the red side, as Sweden are opting to go for the fairly standard picks with the Lucio and the Zarya. Nothing new there.
And a little bit that is different on these control maps is that you really want those mobile characters more than these tanky ones. You might not always want that big and hefty Reinhardt that just provides the big and so cozy shield that you can stand behind and pick off. But you're maybe looking more to a Winston that we see in both teams that can really quickly get into the point and just put up that shield, fling around some electric damage and be everywhere at all times.
But I do want to see a Roadhog being played again. Alright, so Denmark are the ones dealing with damage for now. Discourse over has been returned as Axel got killed. See, Latex has been eliminated, as well as Fnif is going ham as the support, dealing heavy damage. Does not care that he is supposed to be the support staying on the back line. He is instead dealing damage everywhere. The DPS is completely off the shots as he stays in the background, keeps being the supportive DPS as he loves to be. And this is actually looking very good for Denmark. Great start.
And here we see kind of what Norway did last week. Denmark is now spread up all around the map and just dominated the point early game. And now they're collecting themselves to try to keep Sweden from entering the point.
I quite like this tactic that Denmark is using, not staying on the point, being everywhere instead. Oh, Rat goes down! And not the greatest situation for him to be in. Axel is there, blocking as well as he can. Go Sweden, says Sammy, aka Knut.
I think it's Sami, also known as Knut.
Yeah, aka, right? As it's Sweden now on the attacking side, trying to get the point. They finally get it. 34% versus 4 for Sweden. The Sweden are on the heavy side right now. There comes an ultimate. It's a Graviton Surge has been deployed as Nidres is staying back, waiting it out. Not sure if Sweden actually wasted that ultimate. Did not look too efficient, but I'm not sure.
Sometimes you just want to blow an ultimate like Zarya's to get some extra percentages when you're behind. And as we commented, we really like Denmark's playstyle here, but at the same time it's one of those dangerous playstyles where you can get so punished by going so close to the enemy spawn.
Oh, Axel dealing a lot of DPS here. Got his Dragon Blade up, gets the kill. Only one though with the Dragon Blade out. He used his ultimate, but still Sweden are on the controlling side and they keep pushing Denmark backwards.
And here we see kind of what Denmark needed to do. Denmark didn't use that many ultimates, they rather stacked them up to get into this big fight, while Sweden currently are just looking for those solo picks to halt Denmark.
Oh, this is a huge combination. Here we go, Graviton Surge has captured the Swedish team. No one has died yet though, as the sound barrier was deployed at the same time, and Balok goes down without getting any kills. The coordination by Denmark was not quite on point with that attack.
And here we see Sweden just performing once again. They're using some ultimates, not always in combo, while Denmark is constantly trying to combo those ultimates. But that currently is in Sweden's favor, because Denmark do not have the time to prepare with those defensive ultimates. They kind of panic with the different defensive ultimates, trying to...
Oh, here we go again. Another Graviton Surge again with a Pulse Bomb is gonna get triple kill onto Denmark as 5 of the members have gone down. It's an ace. They are completely wiped, and Sweden with 97% left are looking to get map number 1.
And what I want to point out there is that Denmark has a problem salvaging the situation. While Sweden goes in there and just kind of blows an ultimate whenever they want to, just to keep Denmark back, Denmark is constantly trying to stack those ultimates up to make a wombo combo that didn't really work since Sweden was prepared for that wombo combo. They knew that, okay, the whole Danish team has ultimates now. They didn't blow anyone before they were trying to, when they tried to siege us at the point. So now we just know that we need to prepare for these ultimates coming out and we need to face them with all that we have. While Denmark is kinda in the dark of what ultimates Sweden have.
I think the situation is that normally this is a good strategy when you're gonna just push 1 point, you're gonna get control point A and B. It's totally fine to play like Denmark are doing. If you're gonna push the payload, it's fine, you're gonna get to the checkpoint. But for this King of the Hill style maps, it's much more efficient to keep a more chaotic play style, and Sweden are truly adapting to it.
Control point is one of those maps that is so much stress on the team. The healers are constantly facing different threats from the different flankers. They always need to stay on their key players to try to keep them healthy and to really charge up that ultimate for when the big combo hits. And Sweden is currently doing this better by just going in, charging whoever they want, when they want, while Denmark is kind of trying to keep it together, keep it as a team, and sort of fails on these 1v1 picks.
Right, so Denmark got the control point first for this map as well. As Sweden are going in, they got a heavy attack already with 3 dead Danish players. Rat is going ham, finally gets picked out. As it looks again like Smith is doing a great job as the support. Actually, Seniotta deal a lot of damage. A lot of people keep forgetting this, but he finally gets taken out. Epps is there to get him, and it's gonna keep on attacking as Sweden are on the point, having a little bit of a competition now versus Denmark. But the control point is right now in the steady hands of Sweden.
And Seniotta is just one of those super scary supports with that Discord orb. He's constantly reducing your armor, or he's increasing the damage that you take, which makes him a super scary target that you really need to look out for.
Oh, Transcendence has been used. It's gonna keep him alive through the Dragon Blade. It doesn't look like that one was able to get any kills. He gets eliminated by Apps as Rat gets taken out as well. But Rat is the only one of the Swedish team has gone down, as Denmark have lost 3 of their members and are again forced to back off. Actually gonna stay a little bit, but finally they get pushed away. And this is a repeat of the first game we saw, that Denmark, they got a control point first, and then all of a sudden we have to get pushed back.
Denmark is...
Graviton Surge has been deployed, Sound Barrier as well. Not sure how many got caught in the Sound Barrier though. It looked like a little bit of a misplay from Zico.
Get in there.
Not sure though. Denmark are yet again forced back off. Ballon still holding on to his Graviton Surge though.
Maybe Zico didn't misplay there. Instead, he wanted to ensure that his frontline survives this assault that they put on Denmark.
Here we go. A lot of damage is being dealt by Balak, but he gets taken out. There's the Graviton Surge. The combination was not quite there. I think we heard a Pulse Bomb being deployed, but it didn't really find its true mark, as Nindris is still there, still dealing a lot of damage, has forced the overtime, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep it up. No, he will not, as Sweden takes the second map as well.
And once again, as you said, we see the repeat of the first map. Denmark goes in there as a team, completely obliterates Sweden since they're looking to get into the point. So here we see those big team fight clashes that happens, and Denmark is on point with those. They know where every player in their team are. They know how to counter the different Swedish players that are trying to go 1v1 and flank in on the Danish team. But as soon as the control point is captured, Denmark does not spread out efficiently enough, and Sweden has those moments where they just 1v1 whoever they want, pick them out and make Sweden go in for the control point when they know that they have a pick or two.
I think Sweden are doing a great job scouting. When Denmark are agreeing on an attack point, Sweden is always there. They use their abilities very efficiently just to really scare Denmark away. It's quite interesting because they don't really need to get that many picks. They just simply get 1 or 2 picks, then they fall back and keep amounting for those percentages.
And one of the things that Sweden is doing really great is that they are picking out the healers, making them a little bit scared to go into the front lines. And that kind of halts Denmark in their procedure to get to the point, because then they don't have the confident support to walk in with them, and they need to kind of fall back and wait for the support to know that now I have a strong backline, this is the time where I go in.
So this is the exact same situation yet again. Denmark versus Sweden. Denmark are the first one on the point, as Sweden are now on the attacking side. I'm gonna try to recapture it.
And now we will see if Denmark actually sieges up a little bit more than they are used to. Maybe they want to keep the team more together, or they want to spread out those great solo pick players a little bit more, so that they really can 1v1 the Swedish players without any nuisance in the background.
I have to say that Fniff are always on point with his damage. It's quite scary even with his Zenyatta. And there he go, ultimate has been deployed, gonna keep his team alive. There comes the Graviton Surge as well. Denmark are truly using their teamwork this time. Looks like it's going quite well as Denmark stays alive, forcing Sweden back.
Once again, we'll see Denmark here going so well and so aggressive with those combos. As I said, Denmark is one of those teams that has control over all of the players. They're working as a unit instead of Sweden, who might be working on more of a solo level. They have this sort of unit feel because they go in at pretty much the same time, but they're not comboing all of their ultimates together.
No, it's not what they want to do. Here we go, Sweden are on the attacking side yet again, going hot and heavy. No kills so far. Yes, they are. Axel has gone down as Indris is falling back, tries to get away, and he's taken out. Dafran here, trying to deal some damage, trying to stay alive as the rest of the team are on the point. About to capture it, but Dafran will not allow it for free. Tries to get at least one kill, but is eliminated in the end.
And here we see what Sweden does so well against Denmark that makes Denmark panic. They kind of become this sort of plow that just splits Denmark into two, instantly picking off one of the sides of Denmark. Maybe they're going for the big front line with the heavy tanks, or they're going for the support back line with some of the damage dealers. And that just picks Denmark apart and makes them vulnerable.
I think Sweden might be a little bit stressed right now. Only 8% left for Denmark to win this map. Denmark are looking strong. 2 for 2 so far, as Dafran is still on the front line, going hard on the back line now. Sound barrier has been deployed. He is taken out in the end. Well played barrier there by Secor.
I think this is one of the maps that Denmark really excel on, because once we see this kind of one way to go out, one way to go in, and they can really control those sort of in and out points with their great ultimate combos.
Oh, that is a huge pick. Epps gets the pick onto Dafran even before the fight has started. And that's not going to be great for Denmark, as they are yet again forced to back off.
And as I said, Denmark is really great when they have all the members of their team, but they keep constantly getting picked off by some of the Swedish players, and that shatters Denmark's power currently.
I think this is going to be Denmark's final push. They got the ultimates up and ready, waiting for the Graviton Surge. They have themselves been caught out right now. Here comes the Pulse Bomb as well. They get Balok, and Balok was not able to deploy his Graviton Surge before that happened. But is it going to be enough? Sweden already lost 3 members. Denmark are on the attacking side. If they can capture this point uncontested, if they can get the ace, I think that should be game and the final round for Denmark, where they actually win, since Sweden are 2 for 0 so far. 95% to Sweden, as Denmark is still on it. Gamble is trying to force them away. He's doing his best as the overtime has started. Here we see Axel instead going heavy with his Dragon Blade. Finally, the Graviton Surge has been deployed. It's going to be someone able to follow up on it. Doesn't look like it. Sweden is still on the point. Denmark are doing the best they can to get it, but it does not look like it. Battle gets taken out as Axel is still alive, still dealing damage, and the Denmark are just trying to stay on point, trying to keep the overtime running, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Danish players are dying everywhere, and I think this should be it. Sweden takes it. A great match, and Team 2, the Swedish players, Ormar Postmester, takes game number 1.
And Sweden just have the greater solo play potential currently. Denmark is that team that will trump Sweden in all the team fights that we see, but they cannot win 1 by 1 or 1 by 2 that you really have to do against one of these aggressive teams that just constantly is pushing and poking in your team comp. And to win the next map, Denmark has to settle on a strategy. Either you're always going together, or you're trying to split up in two different teams that kind of has this synergy that they go in together to be more defensive on these solo picks, because we saw Rat, just like Onigod last week, going in there getting those important solo picks, just like the Swedish Senjata was doing. Eps, he was also constantly dealing damage and picking some of the key players from Denmark out, and this was too much for Denmark to handle in those big team fights that they were looking to perform and to over-trump Sweden on.
I really get a feeling like Epps sort of has the Zenyatta mind in his own. I don't know how really to explain it, but it felt like he could see where the Danish players were going even before they were there. It was quite interesting, because a lot of times it's like it looks like he's just throwing away random orbs, and all of a sudden he's got 2 headshots and a kill.
It's really interesting with the Zenyatta, because as soon as you scout one of those first person, and this was something that you talked about in the beginning of the round, that Sweden has that really good scouting that they're doing.
Yeah.
And that Discord orb will mark you and will show when you're going to peek, which wall you are behind, and that makes Zenyatta have the perfect timing to just instantly kills you if he charges that right click up.
So an impressive display from Sweden so far, as we're actually gonna give away one of these bad boys right now. So how do you get these?
To get these, you will tweet at us at hashtag G2A and hashtag King of Nordic, and you will write who you think is the next organization or big esports organization to pick up a team. Because currently we see NIP, which is here today in our final. We have some of the more new organizations like Reunited, we have some Misfits teams, and a lot of other esports organizations, but there's still some of the big ones out there looking for their team in the Overwatch scene.
Yeah, so which is the next organization to pick up an Overwatch team? Tweet us at hashtag G2A and hashtag King of Nordic, and you're gonna win one of these. And we actually got a winner right now.
Do we?
Yes, we do. So we're waiting for the tweet that has won. It is at Sami aka Knut. Hashtag G2A, hashtag King of Nordic, go Sweden, and you have won this gift certificate for 20 euros. Congratulations.
And to get these 20 euros, you have to follow us, and then you will have to PM us, because we cannot send you the gift card without your information. So please go on to the King of Nordic Twitter site and just follow us, send us a quick PM, and you will have your 20 euros instantly.
So that's it, what we got for right now. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back, so stay in your seats.
G2A.com presents.
Oh my gosh, I have nothing to play. Like, nothing.
Yo kids, stop your grumble mumble and check out G2A.com. New hottest game, bam! Crazy discounts, pow! Instant delivery, man! This site's crazy. G2A.com, a global operating marketplace. Games, software, time cards, and all that your sweet gamer's heart can desire. Buy digital goods, sell digital goods, go crazy.
When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth.
Human, machine, we are all one within the iris. Before me I see the future. humans and Omnics standing together, united by compassion, while common hopes and dreams.
Trying to crash another party, love? Monarch is in danger! Shoot her on the roof! I repeat, shoot her on the roof!
This is a secure channel. No one's...
Monarch is in danger! Get him out of here!
Identify yourself immediately. All rooftop teams, check and clear. Halo is leaving. I repeat, Halo is leaving. Sir, there's been a breach. We need to leave now. Chariot, this is Team 1. Halo is coming in hot. Over.
Huh? Such a sweet, foolish girl. What's that? Looks like the party is over. Why? Why would you do this? Adieu, chérie. When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth. At the moment of the kill, they are never more alive.
And if you were here with us just before this commercial, you saw that we are giving away one of these. And we're not just giving away one, we're giving away 5. So now one is gone, we still have 4 to give out this evening. And all you have to do is tweet in at us at hashtag #KingofNordic, hashtag G2A to win this gift card.
And it is so easy, really.
It's so easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's one tweet, really, and you get 20 euros, just like that.
And of course these 20 euros are only on the G2A, but the G2A is such a big marketplace that you can spend it on pretty much whatever you want. But that's not the only contest we have today here, right, Sang?
No, it is not. So you can also win Overwatch Origin keys if you tweet us at hashtag King of Nordic with a selfie of you and your favorite hero. You send us your best picture and we will send back our best game, the Overwatch Origins Edition.
And this key is a really good opportunity to invite your friends to play with you. And I think some of our crew has put up some great examples for us to showcase. For example, we have Max Linear here tweeting about Tracer, which is his favorite hero in Overwatch.
Yeah, so which is your favorite hero? Tweet us and send us a selfie that is probably better looking than the one Max sent.
And that's actually pretty easy to do.
Yeah, it should be quite easy to achieve.
Shots fired. Sorry, Max.
Still love you, Max. Alright, so for the next map, it's going to be Sweden versus Denmark. Before that, let's have a look at another example of how you can send your tweets. And this is actually quite a special one. It's Johan Gray present me and my favorite Overwatch friend, hashtag G2A, hashtag King of Nordic, with his Tracer friend.
And
that's pretty good.
Shame we don't give up that car, because that is one good looking car.
Alright, yeah, that car, I could probably...
I would like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I would do to get that car, but...
I would give them my car.
I would give them a lot of money.
A lot of money. But the Tracer cosplay, who was in the focus, was also great.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to cosplay. I really don't. Well, I guess I know how to cosplay. It's you put on a costume, right? But I don't know how to build cosplays.
The progress to getting to that costume might be a little bit more tricky than you think.
Yeah, it's like I know how to spend money, I just don't know how to earn it. It's quite similar to that.
That is one good example of it. It's you really know how to do when you get there. Like when I save up my money, I know what to spend it on, but
Yeah.
you always make those small mistakes.
Like
On the
spending
way.
them, yeah, like spending them on McDonald's and stuff like that beforehand.
Or Overwatch boxes.
Or Overwatch boxes. Yeah, if you're into that, definitely Overwatch boxes. Actually, I try to play for my boxes.
You trade what?
I play for them, you know.
You play for them?
Yeah,
That takes so long.
it does. It does.
You
but
just want to open
it's,
those boxes.
but it's worth it because it's a great game.
That is true. The time you spend on it on Overwatch is always a lot of fun. And how do you spend time on Overwatch with us? That is a great question.
Yeah,
Because-
so tweet us at hashtag King of Nordic and tell us.
And you can also join us, right?
Yeah.
In this tournament, because we have 1 week left of qualifiers. And to join us, we have some eminent partners that will hold qualifiers. And you can go to their separate sites to join in the tournament for your country, to represent them and have a chance to play in the playoffs.
Exactly, so you have 1 more week to get these examples of the sites for the different countries. Here we go, it's Sweden, you want to go to publiclear.se. If you want from Iceland, you want to go to esports.is. Norway got gamer.no. Denmark, it's esports.dk. And for Finland, it's fel.gg. So you got 1 more week, 1 shot, 1 opportunity to join us here at King of Nordic. Do not miss out.
And I have heard a little bit about the Finnish qualifications, because I heard that is a hard one. Because this week, in the final, we have NIP playing.
Yeah.
And NIP is one of the top European teams, so you really don't want to miss that final. We will see some excellent gameplay from both sides. Either Denmark or Sweden will face up against Finland. That today is presented by NIP. And that is just gonna be an amazing match. I'm really looking forward to it. It's maybe a little bit more interesting than the Denmark versus Sweden, sadly, because now we see one of the pro teams.
Oh, but we shouldn't say that.
But in
Denmark
the same
versus
way,
Sweden is still very exciting.
it is very exciting. We have seen some great plays already, but when you really see how much pressure that a pro team can put on a sort of no-name team, they tend to excel, actually. They tend to get much, much better than they have performed when they're up against someone that is a little bit equal.
It is true that playing versus great adversity sort of brings out the best of your teammates.
You really want to try to get that win.
Yeah, definitely. So we're looking forward to it. And right now, Sweden is up 1-0 versus Denmark, but that was only map 1 actually.
That was
and
the
it's
only map.
the only control point map we're seeing in this best of 3. I think it was at least.
No, I think we have Nepal and Lijiang Tower.
You're right, we have Lijiang Tower.
So we still have one of those control maps left.
And Sweden looking quite strong in the control maps. It's actually looking a little bit scary for Denmark, because even if they win the next one, they're gonna have to face Sweden on yet another control point map. And it is so interesting because Denmark were first on the control point for every single round. But in the end, they were always taken out. In last game, they had 92% as Sweden attacked, Sweden took the point, and Denmark had to attack like 4 times, I think.
They were always getting into the points, as you said, and a lot of times they were pushed out of it because of Sweden's aggressive playstyle. And when they first went into the points, all of the Swedish players kind of got surprised by the Danish team's playstyle, because they're one of the team playing playstyles. If that kind of sounds a little bit awkward, but they're playing as a unit more than depending on the individual performance. So in their playstyle, there seems to be a lot of communication going on, where to Sweden has more of a individual, like high-rising players playing for them. So we saw Rat here on the Tracer always going into that backline and constantly flanking all of the Danish healers, often picking them out, which made Denmark have to back out when they no longer had those defensive ultimates that they were using.
And also we saw Eps on his Zenyatta playing the sniper, really, getting those solo picks before the fights even started. That really turned the tide for Sweden over and over again.
When they could pick out someone like McCree with a Zenyatta, it really made Denmark fall short, because when they want to combo off an ultimate, they need that DPS ultimate. They need a damage dealer ultimate to really finish everyone in the Swedish team off and just have a clean sweep to make you be able to go back, get into the point, and just win everything. And we did not see Denmark have that last game because of Sweden's excellent performance.
So we'll see what happens right now, as we will move into vetoes very soon. The players are getting ready, but no veto, of course.
There's no
game
veto,
number 2.
but there's game number 2, and we will see what map from the veto they are picking.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to this because, like we said, Denmark are the team who's been struggling so far. And we're going to see them on Lijiang Tower right now. So again, it's going to be one of these control point maps, the King of the Hill style, as Sweden excelled on before.
And now Denmark really need to pick up their playstyle, and they really need to decide how are they going to play these points. Because so far, they are getting into the point really easily and just sweeping Sweden off. But as soon as Sweden has got that second res grouped together again, they go into that point and pick off the Danish players that they need to pick off. And this is a big problem for Denmark. They need to defend their backline or the targets that they notice that Sweden is going for. I think Denmark this game might want to put 1 or 2 players out from the point and scout, and maybe have the rest of the team kind of huddle up on the point, being able to use all of those ultimates at the same time to defeat Sweden in their tracks.
It's very important to scout beforehand. You really need to have that information, especially on these maps, as it is Sweden who is dealing the most damage right now, a little bit differently from what we saw last game, where it was Denmark who took the control point first. Looks like it's going to be Sweden this time.
I wonder if this will actually make Sweden perform less than they did last game.
Alright, so Sweden got the control point, and they're gonna push Denmark back. Again, it's Eps, the crazy support sniper, dealing heavy damage from the back line, as he now goes on to Winston. Plays ult as well. No one is on the point right now, and Denmark will probably try to be a little bit sneaky to go around Sweden, but right now they are opting to go for the fight instead. Dafran dealing heavy damage, finally gets taken out, and Sweden are still in control.
This is where I was a little bit afraid for Sweden's sake, that they are very much more the retake team than the actual controlling team. They are looking forward much more to retake a point and then stabilize from there than to be the team that owns the point in the beginning. And we saw that when the Denmark just had the great opportunity to wipe Sweden off. Unfortunately, some of the players were picked off a little bit too early and made it so that Denmark could just not get into the point where they were looking for it. And now we see here Winston using his ultimate to try to pick off the Danish players, make them fall back when they're looking for the high ground. And we just see them going so aggressive here. Sweden currently has used some of their ultimates, while Denmark is trying and struggling to use theirs to keep up with the Swedish teams. But Sweden just is on top at this time with that solo player performance. They wipe out Denmark, even though they are the solo, even though they are the unit team that you really need to look forward playing in these team fights, while Sweden just is that solo player team. And once again here, we see Zarya with that almost maximum charge, easy picking off the Winston, just making Denmark fall back because they no longer have that tanky Winston with the ultimate and the shield that you need to face against Zarya. Perky instantly gets 2 other kills as soon as Winston is dead. He goes through that shield super quickly, picks up the rest of the Danish backline, and there we see the first point on Lijiang Tower going to Sweden yet again. I might have spoken too soon about Sweden being the retake team. They might actually be so great at just defending, and that's where their strong point is. Denmark are a attacking team, but are currently coming short out of Sweden's defense. Denmark really need to look up where they want to go in. Who are they looking for in the Swedish team? Who are the key player? Is it a support? Is it their offensive players? Which tank do they want to pick off first? And for this, they need some great flankers. Maybe they should not look to a Reaper or a Tracer here. Or maybe the Tracer is great, but they want to pick up a Genji as well to have that dual attacking force in the Swedish backline, to have that picking power that they so desperately need currently. We will see the first fights breaking out here. Denmark is currently looking at the losing side of this, but as I say that, Nightdress with the Reaper picking out 2 players instantly. Balok is following that up for Denmark, picking up Perky, and now we see Axel low on life and going down. But we still have Nindres on the point. Will we see Darfan and Nindres being able to defend this against this heavy Swedish push that they know are coming, or will Sweden prevail once more and take over this point? They are waiting eagerly for the Swedish push to come in. The Swedish push is here. Nindres got taken out very quickly here by Epps, and once again Sweden is just on point with those picks, and Denmark really need to focus one player instead of going for everyone in the Swedish teams, because they currently cannot match Sweden on this one-on-one. Perky is stuck, he shields it off, so now he's fully charged. He will be able to deal some super heavy damage for Denmark here. Or for Sweden, I'm very sorry. Balok will take Perky out though, but Dafran is quickly on there. Epps eliminating Dafran though with that Zenyatta snipes that has been so scary this whole game. And now Denmark once again stabilizes the points and waits for the Swedish push. Who we will see prevail this time? Sweden now has has the same amounts of ultimate as Denmark, but who will be able to combo it better? Nindres used his ultimate too early, being countered by the Zenyatta. No Graviton Surge were used there to combo it up with Nindres to make that super heavy damage and to pick off those Swedish players. We see Balok is just getting picked out here once again. I think the Perky was there to stop the Zarya in her tracks, because a Zarya versus Zarya is all about how you utilizes your shield, who can get the most damage or who can get the most boosted by their shield to pick up the other team's Zarya. And now we're looking at Denmark trying to push against Sweden. We see the Dragon Blade together with the Sound Barrier coming out for Sweden. Axel is picking up 2 players already. Tracer's in the backline trying to pick up this Genji, but can she do it? She will be able to do it with the support of the Winston. Now Rat has to look for Dafran, the Danish Tracer player, because if he lets Dafran roam free, he can be a super scary pick for your backline, and Rat really needs to focus Dafran out. But Sweden will be able to pick up the point in all this chaos, and now we're looking at a Denmark that has to group up again, maybe reset, salvage what ultimates they can get, and go in for that one heavy push once more, because that's when they win. Sweden is desperately though trying to go for all those solo pick. Meanwhile, Dafran and Denmark is holding back, waiting for the rest of the team to just be able to support him in the back. But he will be taken out by Axel once again. He are way too aggressive currently. When you cannot win those 1v1 fights, you should not be that heavy on the point. You want to lay back, wait for your team, maybe go for a little bit of a more sneaky tracer than for that up and close face tracer that we see Dafran playing currently. That is working for Rat, but Dafran really needs to hold back a little bit, wait for your team, and look for who is out of position, who can I pick up. Perky using a great ultimate here, combo it with a pulse bomb from Rat, and we will see the Danish players go down like flies. Rat once again goes for that aggressive tracer play that can be so devastating for the Danish team. I think that we will see 2-0 on this Lijiang Tower control map. Will Denmark be able to push Sweden back and take over it, or go for the overtime? We see Dafran eliminated early. Together with Nindres, they have a great ultimate. Sadly, Effect is pushed out of the maps. And now we see Balok desperately trying to get this Zenyatta off the point so that they can nullify this overtime and take it back. 99 versus 70 now for Denmark. Sweden just have to get this point, and they can win the game so quickly from just one push currently. Denmark needs to really look out for that Rat player who can take out their backline and so sneakily just get into their team and completely dismantle it. Denmark really cannot afford these open points that they're showing currently. We already see 3 Swedish players in Denmark's backline. Well, Denmark is desperately going for Sweden's backline. They're losing player after player. Axen and Lalix are taking down DPS after DPS. Perk is sadly falling off the map, but that doesn't matter with Alex and his Dragon Blade. He will pick up the rest of the Danish team, and now we will see a 2-0 on this control map for Sweden. Or am I talking too soon? Gamble comes in with Dafran. Will they be the pressure that Denmark need to get back to this point? But no, they will not. Axel will wipe out the rest of them together with Latex. And now we see 2-0 Lijiang Tower, Sweden versus Denmark. Sweden is also currently up 1 against Denmark. So Denmark really needs to win these next 3 maps on Lijiang Tower to be able to go into the next round and face off against Finland. And when they go to Finland, they will face an even harder team, because we have NIP playing today for our finals. You don't want to miss that. And now we're looking for some awesome Overwatch, as both teams are going to be released in 10 seconds. And currently, we have sort of the meta-style teams for both Sweden and Denmark. Sweden is alternating it a little bit with going for those 2 flankers, since they are much better solo pick team than Denmark is. While Denmark more wants that team playing Reaper that can ultimate together with Zarya and just wipe a whole team. And we see the early aggression coming in here. Axel with that sword and that dash is just dealing so much damage to the Danish frontline and backline at the same time. What are they doing? How can they handle this Axel? They really need to look out for him. Maybe they want to pick up a Mei instead of this Reaper to handle this Axel, because he is doing so much damage together with Rat currently. They are always in the threat of either Axel or Rat going into that backline, and they need someone to be back there and really support their healers. Maybe they're looking to pick up a McCree, maybe they're looking to pick up a Mei, but not the Reaper in this situation, because the 2 tanks Sweden are playing are just so much defending the Swedish backline that Reaper really never has a chance to go in aggressive against them. Latex once again going in hard on that front line so that Axel can swoop up the Danish backline, nullifying one more push. And at the same time, Sakura is picking up Fnif. All of this aggression coming out from Sweden at the same time really disables Denmark's great play potential that they need. They need to group up, not look for those 1v1s that Sweden baits them out to do. They want to charge up their ultimate, go into the point and just obliterate Sweden in one big nice combo. But now Sweden is looking for once again nullifying the push when they have all the ultimates up. Graviton Surge coming up from Pesky. Dafran in the backline trying to deal as much damage as he can while the Graviton Surge is on his front line. Will be picked up by Epps though, with that super scary Zenyatta that is constantly on the control of the backline. And another wipe for Denmark. A lot of the Swedish ults were used here though. We see both Perky, Rat, Axel and Seacorn using their ultimates against the Danish push. So now Denmark needs to look for how many ultimates can they stack up against Sweden, because now they know Sweden will not have any of their ultimates except for that Winston and that Zenyatta. Denmark once again looking strong in this team fight. Sweden might be able to pick it up though, as they're going around everywhere, dealing damage to every of the Danish players. Who will be on top? Rat once again with that backline play together with Abs, who backs him up from the backline, is gonna be the victorious once again. Is it gonna be a 3-0 for Sweden? I think it will, and we will see 3-0 for Sweden on the Lijiang Tower, taking it 2-0 against Denmark, and they will qualify for this final against Finland.
Oh my god.
Play of the match.
And we have a new caster with me here today. We have...
Who are you? I'm Max, but you know. I'm
you
filling
are
in.
actually
I'm
our
filling in.
eminent editor.
Hello. I am.
Hello.
I'm the editor guy, and I'm the host for our Friday show, which is our CS show.
And what is happening on this Friday, Max?
Oh, well. It's the King of the Kings, where we're giving out tons of cool stuff. We're having tons of cool people, all of the best teams that have competed in our CSGO King of Nordic.
And
That's on
that is
Friday.
something to look forward to, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Do we have a sneak example of what we're giving away?
I think we don't. Because I want to keep it a secret for just a little bit
little
longer.
bit
I just
more?
want to
Yes.
tease a little bit, you know?
We do it like kind of a cliffhanger. But for this Overwatch, we're also giving away stuff.
Oh yeah, tons of stuff.
Do you want to help me out here? What are we giving away?
Well, a little bit of these we're giving out.
And what are these?
These are G2A gift cards, 20 euro gift cards. And we're giving them out to who?
We are giving them out to you guys, our viewers. We have given out one already. We have 4 more for you. And to get these, you have to tweet us in at #G2A, #King of Nordic, and comment on us or give us a funny tweet that we can read up. Engage with us, because we want you to be a part of this show.
That's right.
And I think we also are giving away one more thing.
Oh yes, of course. We're giving away some keys for the Overwatch game itself.
And
No.
not just any key, right?
No. The Origins edition, of course. Only the best for our audience.
And to win this, we have one of your very nice examples.
Oh yeah.
You have to tweet in a selfie of yourself, not of us, but of yourself with your favorite hero, like Max here did.
Like I did right here.
Here is your glorious example.
I regret that because I did not realize that I was going to be on screen tonight. I just thought that would be a little bit of a gag.
We kind of put you on the spot tonight, didn't we?
Yes, you did.
So, can you explain the thought process behind of this?
Well, Tracer plus Widowmaker equals booty. That's it. That was my thought process.
And apparently we also have a quote-unquote good example.
Yeah, mine wasn't all that good.
And here we say, or here we see, not say, I will protect the innocent from one of our other crew. And this is one of your favorite crew members, right?
Yeah, that's my co-caster.
No co-caster, but co-host.
Oh, co-caster.
Am I right?
I'm not a caster in CSGO, please. I'm all about the Overwatch.
We're all about the Overwatch.
Oh, hell yeah.
But here we see Jennifer kind of cosplaying Farah.
And I think she's doing a pretty good job.
She's doing a great job.
If she wasn't a part of the crew, I would definitely be giving her a key.
I would also like to give her one of the keys that we are giving out today. We're giving out 2 keys today, 2 Origins Edition keys that you can participate on our Twitter to win, as well as the gift cards from G2A. And both of those are #G2A and #King of Nordic.
Indeed. That's it. But you know what, love it. You know what? I kind of jumped in here. I kind of interrupted the whole thing. I want to know more about what happened in this game.
So, in this game, we saw the semi-final between Denmark and Sweden. And Denmark was one of those teams that really works well together. But Sweden kind of countered that in a little bit by going for those solo picks that made Denmark fall short sometimes. And when you see this happen, you kind of need to try to adapt and read the Swedish team what is actually going on and why you're losing these pushes for the control points. I think Sweden excelled really well at these control points, just like we saw Norway do last week, with this a little bit more of an aggressive playstyle, using a little bit of ultimates everywhere, and getting some of those strong solo picks that you really need to look out for, while Denmark was more holding back, not always utilizing the ultimates that they have saved up, and because of that they kind of had this downtime that Sweden did not really suffer from.
So what do you prefer, personally? Are you more of a wait-and-see kind of guy, or are you just a let's push with the ults ASAP?
I am a support player myself, so I really like that pairing sort of combo, because my main currently is a Mercy.
Good on you.
She's one of those, a little bit of a risky pick, I would say. She has that great rest potential, but she's also that really vulnerable target, because we saw...
Yeah, she doesn't... Her little flight, I mean, that doesn't help all that much, unfortunately. It's not as good as Lucio's speed boost. She can't get away as fast as the other heroes can. So yeah, I definitely agree on her being kind of a weak target, so to speak.
Definitely. She has the big target on her head, and she's also one of these, I wouldn't say weak, but kind of weak characters in the game, because of her not having a really good offensive while supporting the rest of the team.
That's true.
As we saw in this game, Eps were everywhere, sniping off Danish players left and right, but at the same time, we can't forget that he was constantly healing the Swedish frontline, and this makes Senjata a really great pick. While Mercy will heal your team more and also give you the second chance of taking the point, she will not have that offensive pressure that a Senjata has.
Oh yeah, the Senjata, as I saw from the game when I was behind the scenes, the Senjata was just picking some people out, especially with its right click.
Always with the
and
right
I mean,
click.
with the right click.
The right click is one of those tools that are a little bit hard to master with the Senjata.
Yeah.
Because you really have a sort of downtime, or you have to wait before you can release all of your 5 shots. But when you hit those in the head, it is devastating for the receiving end of that. Because each headshot will just instantly drop you so much health that you do not even realize what happened before you're dead. And with
That's
that Discord
definitely
orb, with that Discord orb,
Oh, yeah.
you can even track targets through the wall, and it will increase the damage they take. And you know what? I think that one of our viewers are really lucky currently.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh my, tell me more.
I think that one of our viewers engaged with us at hashtag King of Nordic and hashtag G2A and tweeted something at us.
Oh, nice. That's what we wanted.
That's what we want. And here you see Coyote GP, hashtag King of Nordic, hashtag G2A. There's nothing better than watching King of Nordic when you are sick. Thank you for giving us this show today. And my condolences that you're sick, but to show you some love, we give you this gift card.
Yeah, maybe that'll help.
And you will actually have to do us a favor, even though you're the winning one. You will have to follow us and PM our Twitter so that we can send you the information for the key.
Or at least follow us so we can DM back and forth. That's kind of how Twitter works. It's a process, but hey, you'll get a €20 gift card.
And that is something important.
Yeah, sure. I mean, what would you buy if you got a gift card right now, Lola?
I'm
putting you on the spot right now.
100% sure, because G2A has a really great selection, I would say. And some of the sales that they have puts games on a really low price. But I think I will be a little bit of a sellout and buy boxes for
Oh,
Overwatch.
yes, that's true. That's a really good thing you could do.
That is something that you can do.
I'm going to take one of these and do that myself.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You're not.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. It's for our lovely viewers.
I mean, if we fire you and you tweet at us, maybe you could get one of these gift cards, but...
Never mind.
I think you want to work here as our eminent producer for the glorious videos that we see here. And one of those videos will be a commercial break.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hey guys, let's do a racing game. Ready? Yeah. Yes. Woo! Yes. Come on.
How far are you gonna be behind me?
My family tells of an ancient legend about two great dragon brothers. The dragon of the North Wind and the dragon of the South Wind. Together, they upheld balance and harmony in the heavens. But the two brothers argued over who could better rule their land. Their quarrel turned to rage, and their violent struggle darkened the skies, until the dragon of the South Wind struck down his brother, who fell to earth, shattering the land. The South Wind had triumphed, but as time passed and he realized his solitude, the sweetness of victory turned to ash. For years, the bereft dragon's grief threw the world into discord. And he knew only bitterness and sorrow. One day, a stranger called up to the dragon and asked, "Oh, Dragon Lord, why are you so distraught?" The dragon told him, "Seeking power, I killed my brother. But without him, I am lost." The stranger replied, "You have inflicted wounds upon yourself. But now, you must heal. Walk the earth on 2 feet as I do. Find value in humility. Then you will find peace."
You are not the first assassin sent to kill me. And you will not be the last.
You are bold to come to Shimara Castle, the den of your enemies.
This was once my home. Did your masters not tell you who I was?
I know who you are, Hanzo. I know you come here every year on the same day. You risk so much to honor someone you murdered.
You know nothing of what happened.
I know you tell yourself that your brother disobeyed the clan, and that you have to kill him to maintain order. That it was your duty.
It was my duty, and my burden. That does not mean I do not honor him.
You think you honor your brother Genji with incense and offerings? Honor resides in one's actions.
You dare to lecture me about honor? You are not worthy to say his name! Yuga wagateki wo kurau! Yujin no ken wo kure! Only a Shamada can control the dragons. Who are you? Do it then. Kill me.
No. I will not grant you the death you wish for. You still have a purpose in this life, brother.
No. No. My brother is dead. Genji.
The dragon knelt upon the ground. For the first time, he was able to clearly see the world around him, and he became human. The stranger revealed himself as his fallen brother. Reunited, the two set out to rebuild what they had once destroyed.
What have you become?
I have accepted what I am, and I have forgiven you. Now you must forgive yourself. The world is changing once again, Hanzo, and it's time to pick a side.
Real life is not like the stories our father told us. You were a fool for believing it so.
Perhaps I am a fool to think there is still hope for you. But I do. Think on that, brother.
G2A.com presents.
Oh my gosh, I have nothing to play. Like, nothing.
Yo kids, stop your grumble mumble and check out G2A.com. New hottest game, bam! Crazy discounts, pow! Instant delivery, man! This site's crazy. G2A.com, a global operated marketplace. Games, software, time cards, and all that your sweet gamer's heart can desire. Buy digital goods, sell digital goods, go crazy.
Everybody, we are facing the final Finland versus Sweden.
Ooh, and it's a nail biter.
It is a nail biter. Sweden did such a good performance last game, but now they're facing the famous NIP, the Finnish team that is one of the top teams in Europe currently.
And it's I don't know who to root for. I don't know.
It's always lovely with an underdog story.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But at the same time, NIP will probably produce some of the sick plays for this week that will just be so crazy. We really need to look out for those in this match. And we have Max with me here today.
Hey,
he is going to be one of my host partners, and I am going to do more of the casting that you have seen today. And
indeed,
you know
I
what?
might just add something to the mix, but mainly we're gonna have Lovey here as the main guy.
You are not 100% unexperienced as yourself in Overwatch.
No, I'm not. I dabble.
You dabble. One of the higher rankings in Overwatch currently.
Next topic, please.
I take that as a yes, because you don't want to brag, because you're so humble. But as a humble person, Max,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do?
I give stuff away.
And what do we give away?
G2A gift cards.
We give out G2A gift cards. If you tweeted us, hashtag King of Nordic, hashtag G2A, and we still have 3 of these cards to give away today.
Mm-hmm.
So please tweet in at us to win one of these keys.
Yep. Easy as that.
It's easy as pie.
Uh-huh.
You
I
write
have to
something
say,
down.
I mean, it could be nice to meet you, Max, because it's the first time here. Awesome game, or anticipating the NIP versus Urmar på semester, which is quite an awesome name, I have to say. So yeah,
But
those are just examples.
here we have someone. We win against Copenhagen Flames, and we will face Nip Gaming in the
Ooh.
grand finals of King of
Speak
Nordic.
of the devil, here they are, the Swedish team, Urmar på semester, tweeting out that they will face Nip.
And
Oh my.
who are you rooting for out there, audience? Are you rooting for the NIP, or are you rooting for the little bit of an underdog here, Ormar per semester, the Swedish team that has just defeated Denmark in the first semi-final? And what happens when you win this final?
I don't know, you tell me.
When you win this final, you go to the playoffs, and in our playoffs, we have 4 professional teams that will face off against the 4 qualified national teams that we have.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be awesome.
In these playoffs, as you're facing a professional team, or professional teams, depending on how far you get, you can show the world that you are the next team to look out for. Maybe you even go to the top, win some of the prize money of the $5,000 cash prizes that we have for this tournament, or maybe you're just gonna be there and show everybody that we are the next pro team.
Yeah, it's definitely a jump start in your career if you're, going for an Overwatch career.
This is something that you can just show everybody that we performed this well against some of the top ranks in the world currently. And you can just, it's actually sort of a bragging point, really.
Definitely. It's just being like, hey, I'm the biggest dude around here.
And I was playing against these pro teams. I defeated some of these pro teams.
Just imagine what the Swedish team can tell people after tonight if they win against NIP, the legendary team.
They are sort of a legendary team. They are sort of fresh in the Overwatch market, but NIP
But then again, who isn't? In
that
the
is
Overwatch
true.
community?
That is true. Overwatch is such a freshly started game, and there's really no sort of fast players that are super good that we have in CS currently. We have some of the players already stepping up to that sort of untouchable god level that is the pro players. And to show the rest of the world what you are made of course you want to come here and just beat the crap out of everybody. And
I couldn't have said it better myself, love it.
I think that you have some of the partners that our nations go to qualify for this.
I definitely do, my friend. If you're from Sweden, let's see here. If you're from Sweden, you go to publiclear.se. If you're from Iceland, you go to esports.is. If you're from Norway, you go to gamer.no. Denmark, esport.dk, and finally Finland, fel.gg.
And we know that Finland had some cruel qualifications to get here, since they had to face NIP.
Oh yeah, those qualifications must have been woohoo! Oh boy.
And same goes for the rest of the team, except for Iceland this week, sadly, because there was some complications. Iceland did not have the time to produce the team that they wanted to show here at the King of Nordic, so that's why NIP for this week won by a walkover.
Yeah, that's a bummer, but hey, what can you do?
What can you do? We will still see some awesome matches today here. The first match is already done. Sweden came off top of Denmark. What a game. What plays that were made. Sweden constantly picking down Denmark. Denmark answering with those wombo combo ultis. But now we have Sweden versus Finland. And this is gonna be just as awesome as the last game.
Yeah, I bet. If even more awesome, maybe. I'm pumped. I'm really pumped to see what's gonna happen next, and I can't wait.
None of us can't wait, but while we're doing some small waiting,
Mhm.
we have more stuff to give away.
Oh yeah, that's true, and that's gonna help us with the waiting.
That is
Really.
going to help us with the waiting.
Mhm.
So currently, we're not only giving away our G2A gift cards on Twitter, we're also giving away this. It's an Overwatch Origins Edition key. And to enter this competition, you have to do what?
You will send in a selfie on our Twitter with your favorite Overwatch character. Of course, what you have to do is use the hashtag King of Nordic and hashtag G2A.
And I think we have some of our competitors here. We will show them here. We will show all of your examples here whenever we have the time. Even if you just tweet us to communicate at hashtag King of Nordic on Twitter, or if you tweet in to win these awesome gift cards and these awesome keys at hashtag G2A and hashtag King of Nordic, you will be presented in stream, and we won't always have the time to read you out because we don't want to miss the crazy gameplay going on in the background, but you will be here and you will be noticed.
Definitely.
And I think here's one of our first competitors at King of Nordic. Like this, King of Nordic hashtag G2A, and that is Mercy in the background.
That is a good example. That is a really good
That is
example.
an awesome example, but sadly, this is one in our crew, so you cannot win this.
No. It was meant for just an example, so you guys have an idea of what you're supposed to do to win this Overwatch Origins Edition key.
And I think we have one more.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do one more example.
And here we see Johan posting with Soldier 76.
The daddy of King of Nordic himself, almost, kind of. The granddaddy.
With
Just
the
like,
granddaddy of the Overwatch. This
Indeed.
is really fitting.
So yeah, those were the examples. And
I
you
think
know what?
we will pick a winner.
Yeah, let's do that.
So congratulations to Titus for tweeting at us with Diva all the way. You will be able to have one of these Overwatch Origins Editions key. Maybe we'll give it out to a friend so that you can play together, or maybe you're just gonna use it to upgrade your account to get those sweet, sweet skins.
Ooh, that's true, that's true. So, hey, congratulations, man.
We look forward. We look forward to this next map,
Yeah,
or next
definitely
match
agree.
actually, but to see the next match we need the 3 maps that will be played.
Oh yeah, it'll be hard to play without maps.
It will. You kind of have the staring contest of like, I will win. And the other team will sit there like,
Brother.
no,
Brother,
I will win.
I will win. No, brother.
I will win.
It is I.
Maybe I am foolish for believing that there is still hope for you.
Only a Shibata can control the dragons.
Who are you?
And
yeah,
some of the
Sorry about
standard
that.
points being banned here after our small banter. And we see Finland here banning Nepal, and I think this is really strategic. I think that they scouted out Sweden, saw their performance, and was like, we're not gonna let them have the upper
That's a
hand.
valid point. That's a valid point.
So Finland currently banning all of the control maps, while Sweden banned Watchpoint Gibraltar. And I think that Sweden is one of those teams that really want to play on those a little bit more of an open map, one of the centered brawl points, so that they know how to control the fights. While Finland might be one of those teams that is opting more for a push map or a hybrid map, where you can go in with the rest of your team, pull off some sick wombo combos, and just completely catch the other team off guard.
Yeah, definitely. And this draft is so goddamn important too, because not only does Sweden have much to prove against a, well, legendary team, as we put it, NIP, but NIP has their honor and their pride on the line. So even such a, well, small thing as a match pip is vital right now.
Absolutely. And we see, once again, some of the more standard maps being banned out. Lijiang Tower is the third and last control map that is being banned, together with Achenwald and Numbani. And currently Sweden and Finland are kind of counter-banning each other's maps. Sweden is looking to ban as much of the either not control points but assault points and push the cart, while Finland is looking to ban more of the control points. And our 3 final maps for today will be Kings Row, Dorado and Hollywood, all of them being push to cart. I don't think that Sweden is way too comfortable, but I think that they have an S in their back pocket to pull out against Finland.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really exciting to see that.
And it is Sweden's map pick, which will be the first map or Sweden decides which map will be the first map that we're seeing today in this awesome final. NIP versus Sweden on Hollywood, and we will soon get into the game.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. Well, what else can you say? It's Hollywood. Of course, it's awesome.
I don't really know what else to say. Because we have a pro team, we have an underdog, we have an awesome map. There's just so much piling up.
It's really just the I don't know. I'm excited.
It's too much.
Can we start now? I want to start.
We really want to start now. We will see what Finland will perform against Sweden, and how much will Sweden step up against this pro team.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I really
but
don't.
soon we will see. And Hollywood is a hybrid map. First you have to get into the point, you have to capture that point, and then push the cart all the way to the end.
Yes, indeed.
And this is where either Sweden or Finland will be a little bit better than the other team. Sweden is playing this sort of aggressive playstyle from what we have seen so far, which makes me think that they are going to go for at least one flanker to go around the house, attacking the Finnish team, trying to get some of the defensive characters that Finland is playing. Currently it's either Lucy or Anna.
Yeah, and as we can see here in Swedish, as you said, they're really aggressive. They have actually two of them. They have Genji and they have Tracer.
And they're also playing one of those aggressive tanks, Winston, instead of going for that a little bit more secure Reinhardt that you want to use to push up against the point with the whole team and just unleash hell upon the opponents.
Yeah, so they are definitely going strong on the offensive sides of things.
But here we will see Sapis, Mafu, Kinnel, Suppi, and Seita, Fraggy, and Himsi for NIP in the Finnish team.
Yes, indeed. And in this Swedish team, we see Latex, Epsiv, Axel, Perky, Zikor, and Rat.
And now we will see the nerving conclusion. Who will get out on top? Who will win this map? We don't know, but it sure is very exciting to see what's gonna happen.
I just have to say this one more time. I think it's almost poetic how Finland is gonna defend their reputation. They want to defend their reputation, and they're going for mostly defensive heroes, while Sweden are the underdogs that want to prove themselves, and they're going all attack force. This is gonna be awesome. Let's go, Lobby.
And here we see Sweden, or actually Finland, instantly peeking out which characters Sweden have, trying to counter them as fast as they can, and we will see Fraggy going big with that hammer. 4 kills already for that aggressive Swedish play. And how will they pick this up? Will they instantly switch tactics? Will they try to go for a more solo to kind of pick onto the points? Or will Fraggy just be that big cliff in the way of Sweden's strategy? We do not really know yet, but we also already see Fraggy with that Earth Shatter, which is so devastating when you try to push in. Rat here constantly looking for an opening to get into the point, go for those defensive characters, instantly goes for the Anna, because Anna with that Reinhardt is so scary, picks her out. This is a big play now that Sweden wants to control the point, but as I say that, Fraggy and Himsi is just going crazy on the points, controlling everybody of the Swedish players that try to get in there and just obliterating them quicker than they know. And just as I say that, it's really fun to watch King of Nordic while taking breaks from school studies. Welcome, Juga, and we want you to see some awesome games here today. Finland has the upper hand currently, but we do not think that Sweden will lose this so easily. Sweden switched up their characters, they're now going for more of a team comp. How are they gonna counter this Finnish play?
Definitely gonna be a mystery. I mean, what can they do right now? They are such a solid defense on the NIP Finland team right now.
NIP is just a cliff currently for Sweden. There is no way getting around that choke point that you so desperately want to hold. And there's just no opening for Sweden currently. Do they need to go in all 6 members at the time to try to split up the Finnish teams? Do they need a really nice flanker in the backline? Currently, it's just
oh
Finland.
My god, did you see that sneak?
That Graviton Surge, he was hiding behind the wall, instantly know when Sweden was going out there. Sapis combos it with his Deadeye, while Mafu is just going crazy on that Zarya. Instantly pops the shield, instantly pops the Graviton Surge, wipes Sweden in their tracks to try to push this defense point, and Fraggy did not even have to use his ult. Are these 3 tanks what Denmark needed to counter Sweden, to Sweden not have the damage that is needed to pick these 3 Finnish players down.
They definitely need to think of something, and they need to think of something quickly, because oh my god.
But as we see, Sweden thought of something quickly. They go in big and they go in fast. We see the wombo combo together with the Sari and the Reinhardt. As soon as Graviton Surge lands, Reinhardt is there in a second using Earth Shatter, taking down all of the Finnish teams, stunning them to make the Sweden have an easier time to damage them all at once. Now Sweden has also picked up this triple tank combo, trying to sort of counter the Finnish team's defense by going tanking themselves. And at the same time, we will see Rat here in the backline trying to pick out the McCree and their healers, so that the Swedish tanks will have the upper hand in these brawly fights. We will see a lot of melee, a lot of close combat. And we see Finland going ham on that point once again. Sweden is completely pushed off. Reinhardt will get sleeped. And now we see the Graviton Surge coming out from Soria together with the Deadeye once again. And Deadeye will do so much damage that Mafu has no hard time to go in there, picking off the rest of the Swedish players with that 100% charge that you so easily get when the team is stressed. You just pop the shields on 2 of your most key players as the defending team. The Swedish players try to kind of reach back on the Finnish team when they use their ultimates, instantly boosting Soria to 100, and she just kills everything with that beam.
Yeah, as you say that, she's already at 100% right now. She's going bananas, but the Swedish team are trying to do a Ana boost on Reinhardt, but nothing really happens to it.
And the Reinhardt Ana boost is such a scary combo, but Finland handles it so well. They instantly scattered around him, trying to pick off the rest of the backline or the supporting fire for that Reinhardt while he was going big. Because the danger with Reinhardt getting boosted is that you no longer have that supportive shield that your team really needs and really wants against this really close quarter combats. And as soon as that Reinhardt shield drops down, Finland just goes in there quickly and devastates everybody.
Oh yeah, as you can see there was the Reinhardt doing the Ana boost combo wombo once again.
But this time for the Finnish team. And Finland are a little bit less scared of going ham into that backline with the Reinhardt, because Finland is so confident in their players. Once again we see Himsi here going big off with the hooks, picking 2 targets off almost instantly while the Reinhardt is in the Swedish backline. The Swedes are just pushed back, and that opens it up for Himsi just pick and choose whatever he wants to hook and kill. And this is so big. Finland already has all of their ultimates up again. Himsi using his whole hog to counter the Sari ult, while the rest of the Swedish team is going ham on the Swedish backline. All of the ultimates go down on the Swedish backline, picking almost all of them off in an instant. Lucio ult wasn't used on ult, they had no time to use that on the Reinhardt, but now it's Sweden that has the upper hand. They really need to step up now, go in there, use the Ana boosted Reinhardt with the Earth Shatter to take the rest of the Finnish team down. Finland does not want to stack right now when Sweden can go so big.
Oh yeah, you're definitely right. And here we can see, it's just Finland keep on defending. They keep on defending. Are the underdogs actually going to be able to go through the unpenetrable wall that is NIP?
And NIP is doing this wall with such a great communication. As soon as they go into that small room, every Finnish player knows where he needs to be positioned. You see the McCree go in there almost instantly, flashbanging, headshotting everybody, dealing so much damage that the Swedes cannot keep up with it.
But here we see the Swedes going through a little bit of a push. Are they going to make it? It's going into overtime. The Swedish Reinhardt is standing there. He's going bananas, and they currently have the cart.
And overtime is one of those scary times in the game where the defending players have that long death timer. So as soon as Sweden wipes off the Finnish team, they will have a long push on this overtime, even though it's still just an overtime. They can't lose the point. But that doesn't matter to Sweden. They're defending this point like Finland is defending it so hard. But as I say that, Finland comes out so strong once again. That Reinhardt is just going so crazy. Not even with the Ana boost he was able to pick all of those out. He used Earth Shatter, comboed it with the rest of the Finnish team, told them that now the Swedish team is down, come in here, do the damage that you have to do, and we will just see Sweden off the map.
Oh my god, Lovi, oh my god.
This was a really quick round, and Finland is now looking at an advantage since they just need to push to this quite not that far to win the game. And how will Sweden be able to stop this impenetrable force? Because Finland has currently just smashed through this Swedish team. They put up a wall. When the wall was in position, they looked for the Swedish players to engage. As soon as they engaged, Finland reacted instantly, put whatever they needed to put into the Swedish team to CC them and to make it able for their McCree to just do the Deadeye spot on, killing almost all of the Swedish teams in an instant.
But now my big question to you, Love, is do you think that Finland is as good on attacking as they are on defending?
This might actually be a problem for Finland because Sweden is an aggressive team. So they might not be defending in the orthodox way. They might actually be looking for a more sneaky flank way that Finland was not looking for. They were always looking for these big stacks, and they always went into the Swedish teams with all their ultimates up, comboing them off. And Sweden could not really compete with that, with their combos. But if Sweden now instead looks for those solo picks while Finland is trying to attack, they might actually be the team coming out on top. These underdogs are no match, or not no match, but they are not to play with. They have that solo pick potential that Finland might have to look out for. But we will see that in just a second as Finland will be released to attack on this point on Hollywood. This is the first map, NIP versus Ormar Semester, Sweden versus Finland. Who do you root for? Who do you think will win? Are you the underdog guy or are you the pro team guy? Tweet at us at #KingofNordic because this is an intense and awesome game we're seeing.
Oh, I couldn't have said it any better myself, Lovi. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
And we just see quickly here Finland going into the team, into the Swedish point, dominating it, getting the picks that they are looking for, and Sweden got held back. It was looking so good for Sweden there for a bit when they managed to pick out some of the Finnish players, but they got back really quickly as the Swedish players just got pushed back by this Finnish unstoppable push. They are a wall, moving or not. You really need to look where this wall's weak point is. Where do you dismantle this wall? Is it the Reinhardt you need to go for? Or is it the backline that is constantly repairing their health? We really don't know yet, and Sweden has to figure it out under such pressure, and this is really hard. Maybe this map is the map where Sweden will just analyze NIP because they realize that we are the underdogs here, but we are able to perform really well in those 1v1s. Where's the Finnish openings there where we will go for these 1v1s? But here comes the dual dragons together with the graviton search, picking out 4 players almost instantly, and it doesn't stop there. Sap is on this hunt, so it's just shooting arrows everywhere. He is a bombardment of arrows together with that twin dragon combo, and the Swedish players just don't have the mobility or the endurance to keep it up.
I don't care what the game system says, that's play of the game for me.
That is play of the game. And Seeker just really needs that ulti to defend the rest of the Swedish team against this heavy damage. Him is already picking out their Winston. Now we see Earthshatter coming down from Finland together with this Graviton Surge from Sweden. Who will come out on top? They have no healing available in that Graviton Surge, which will be so hard for the Finnish team to keep alive. But Hanso is in the backline trying to look for this Anakill. Gets it, has Twin Dragons loaded. Will he be able to pick out the rest of the Swedish team that is struggling to get back on this point when the Finnish team is currently resetting all of their ultimates, all of their attack, and Sweden will actually be able to stop Finland for the first time in their tracks. Even though Finland countered those ultis so well, the Ana anti-heal was just too big for Finland to handle on that Graviton Surge, and it was such a great combo play from Perky together with Epps. And we really look forward to seeing this once more. Now they know who to go for, where do we look for these solo picks, and we will see Sweden performing much better this last round.
Oh, definitely. Live and learn, as they say. Live and learn.
But as I say that, Sampis once again just picks out 2 targets instantly, and we don't want to see Seeker go out this early. But Axel is doing devastating damage into that front line. They're no longer going for those flanking picks. They are going ham into the Finnish front line, picking everybody off. They are using Finland's strategy against them, and it's working. That boosted Rodog just pushed everyone he wanted into that room, trapping them with his ultimate that pushes out so much damage and so much control on that point in such a short matter of time, instantly bursting that Reinhardt ulti so that he does not longer have the endurance to defend his team against that scary damage that Rat and Axel is able to put out. But now we see Fraggy deep into the Swedish backline, picking out Rat really quickly, looking for more kills. More kills will be handed out by Himsi and Supio going for that backline. Zapes is also keeping it up together with Malu, and the Swedish team is almost wiped. Who will be there to rescue them? No one, as Finland wins the first map. 1-0 goes to Finland. Hollywood has just ended, and Sweden need to analyze what they need to do, what frontline, and how they will confront this wall.
I totally agree with you, Love. And it's really good to see that at the end of the map, Sweden actually caught some of the things that Finland did from the beginning. They actually learned about how they are playing. So I'm really excited to see.
Dragon.
Oh, there it is.
Just to interrupt you a little bit.
Here it is, definitely.
Sweden learned really quickly.
You can interrupt me any day for this. I mean,
this is sick. And what I did not notice that made this such a key play is that Ana was also there on spot, making them unable to heal through that dragon. And that just becomes a devastating combo, because as long as that dragon is on you, you are going to die unless you get either the Lucio ult or the quick heals. But the Ana ultimate nullified one of those too quickly for the Swedish team to react with the Lucio ultimate, and that just made them go down so quick.
I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Whew, I need to breathe, Lovey.
You need to what?
I need to breathe. That was exciting.
We need a short break, but you know what's good with breaks? You have the time to give some stuff out.
Ooh la la.
Some of you viewers have tweeted at us during this intense game during NIP versus Ormar per semester, Sweden versus Finland, and some of you are a lucky winner for this next G2A gift card.
This one right here. Do you want to give it now? Or are we gonna give it later?
I think we will give it now.
Oh, let's do it now then.
To keep some hype going, because the game itself is enough suspension to stay here. You don't want to miss any second of this game. And while we don't want to miss too much of it, sometimes we need a little break. Sometimes you need to get something for being an awesome viewer, tweeting at us, communicating. And that is why we're giving you a G2A gift card. And if you show us your face together with your favorite character, you will also be able to receive the one left Overwatch Origins Edition key.
Yeah, the last one we have for today at least.
We only have one left for today. We have already given out one. We have also given out 3 of 5 G2A gift cards. So now we're gonna give out the 4th, and this 5th one I think is gonna be at the end of the game, or at the end of this final.
Yeah, totally. Let's do that.
So tweet into us during our broadcast and just push those tweets, communicate with us. Tell us what you think. Is this an awesome game or what? Do you like me? Do you like Max? Do you like gift cards? Or do you like Overwatch?
Actually, one thing that you could tweet in is what would you do with the gift cards? That's a popular one. And as Love pointed out, it's a great way to buy loot boxes.
Those loot boxes with those sweet, sweet epics and legendaries that you really want to look forward.
A new Reinhardt skin? Well, new.
Yeah, it's not so new anymore. It's about 2 weeks old, but it still looks
hella
so
dope.
good. It's so good. And we actually saw both of those skins being played during this game.
Yeah, we did. But you know what, Lily? You know what? I think we have a winner of one of the G2A gift cards.
We have a winner. We have one of you lucky viewers getting one of these gift cards. And it is Fredrik Bupe, and he is saying what?
He is sharing for Sweden today, but Norway is going to crush next week.
And congratulations on your gift card, and also on Norway qualifying for last week's tournament. And apparently they're gonna qualify for our last week of this tournament as well. Next week is the last chance for you as a viewer, or as a maybe semi-professional or a professional team, to get into the playoffs, where you will face off 4 invited professional teams for a prize pool of $5,000 US. But Fredrik Bupe I don't really know how you want me to say that.
I think it's boop, but don't forget to follow us, Frederick, so we can actually send you the DMs.
For
with
that
the code.
sweet, sweet prize money.
Yeah, indeed.
But you know what?
Mhm.
We need a breather. We need a quick
I
break.
definitely need a glass of water.
But we will be back after this short video, and so should you, because this game is awesome. And NIP is looking really strong.
Yes, they are.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hey guys, let's do a racing game. Ready? Yeah. Yes. Woo! Yes. Come on.
How far are you going to be behind me?
Welcome back, everybody, after that short break. And speaking about breaks, we did something before we went on this short break.
You have to refresh my memory, Loli. I am very old.
You're not.
I may not look it, but I
Honestly.
am 94.
Okay. You are a old man trapped in a young body. It's kind of like Benjamin Bottoms. But what we did was that we were giving out a G2A gift card.
Ah, one of these bad
We have
boys.
still,
Or-
we
or
still have
one of
one
those,
left,
I guess.
and we also are giving out one last Overwatch Origins Edition key. So please, during these awesome games, take the time to just tweet at us at hashtag King of Nordic or hashtag G2A to be able to win one of the gift cards, and use the same hashtags but with a selfie of your favorite hero to win the last Overwatch Origins Edition key.
Oh, hell yeah.
We are going to go in-game in just a second, seeing the second map, Finland versus Sweden, NIP versus Ormar Porsemesten, and we really think that Sweden has learned something from last map, because they were stepping up at the last minutes there. They kind of analyzed Finland, countered some of their big plays, and just went ham on that Finnish team. In the end, NIP managed to step up those last minutes and push the point to the end. But now we will see Sweden versus Finland on King's Row. And currently it is Sweden starting on the defending side of King's Row versus NIP, who will be starting on the attacking side. And once again we see this sort of cheeky triple tank play that was working out so well for them last round. And we actually have a complete mirror matchup currently. Not anymore, since since
Cast a curse.
Rat switched out that Widowmaker for a McCree, but I do not know what I think of Mafu playing a Widowmaker on attack. This is one of the characters that will be really good at early scouting out what players in the Swedish team are looking for, that aggressive front line. How are they gonna counter it? But do you actually want to stay on her for the rest of the game? That is something that I do not know. We will have to wait and see how Mafu plays this map. But Rat, on the other hand, has this McCree that has that super good headshot and pick potential that you really want and really need as a defending team.
Definitely, definitely. And here, as we can see, Mafu is trying to get some shots, but that big Reinhardt shield is just in the way. She's getting in some shots though, but we'll see, we'll see.
And even if she doesn't hit all the shots, she is constantly sweeping this Swedish team. She knows wherever the Swedish players are, she can forward this information for the rest of her team so that they can go into the point confident and strong, and that's what we see happening here. Finland is just going in there, pushing Sweden off the point so that Sweden has to try to re-engage, but Perky is now going to pick up Fraggy, so now Finland has that opening kill that they want, and it is the Reinhardt, which is one of those strong targets that you really want to pick up. But as I say that,
they're just
Finland
backing
is
off.
actually backing
They're
off.
just backing off. They know what's good for them. And what's good for them is just, if somebody important, that vital as Reinhardt is dying, just back the hell up.
But here we see Himsi in the flank, looking for those crazy picks, picking out the McCree, but the Lucio shield will be in the way. The drop was in time this time for Sweden. Now we're looking at a Lucio going down those C-Core, getting hooked and Widow sniped at the same time. That will be some huge damage coming out. Mafu's playing this Widowmaker so well on this first point. Now Sweden is looking at a devastating situation with the Sakura going down. But we will see Latex going ham at that backline, trying to salvage the situation. Will do it with both of the healer going down to Latex, and now Finland might have to back off while the second Swedish push is coming in, contesting that point. But Himse will be able to pick up the Roadhog. Will this be enough? Axel will go down to that pick. This is big. Healer and McCree both got catched up in that Graviton Surge, and that is so big. This will mean that Finland will take the first point and will be able to push the card. And now Sweden has to look for new choke points to hold. Where do they want to set up? Where can they actually set up for this defense? Mafu once again so aggressive with that Widowmaker, just constantly sweeping the Swedish team, picking up health, just scoping them and hitting them all the times. And this is so scary for the Swedish team because they never know where they are safe. And at the same time, Finland is always safe behind that Reinhardt shield.
Ooh, and here we see a Dovnosti, we see a boosted Reinhardt, but it's really nothing happening, honestly.
And as you say that, Fraggy is going ham in that Graviton Surge. He completely wiped the Swedish team on that backline. The Graviton Surge were there for Sweden to pick up the front line that Finland is so scary with. They wanted to get that Zarya, they wanted to get that Roadhog that is constantly picking off the Swedish players. But at the same time, Fraggy just got in there, know that he cannot be stopped with that boost, and just crushes the Swedish backline. And now Sweden is looking at a really hard point to hold. They want to build up their ultimates as fast as they can, and they want to look at new ways to get down Mafu and to get that point under control.
Definitely, definitely. I think it's interesting also that Mafu is still on the Widowmaker. He is doing so well.
And that Widowmaker is so aggressive. You usually do not see a Widowmaker this aggressive, since you really want that McCree instead of the Widowmaker, because she currently is not lacking much, but she still is lacking a little bit too much to be able to see too much professional play. She's always that borderline character that you never know when she will come out and do too much damage or when she will stay back and be completely useless. And Sweden is currently looking at that super scary Widowmaker. They have the Reinhardt shield to counter her, but they need something more. What is it that they need? Do they need their own Widowmaker? Maybe 4 tanks is the answer to this. Now that Widowmaker cannot easily pick out one target. But Fragger will go so big on those tanks, completely picking them off. Even Rat, that was their DPS, got picked off on that Winston. And now that opens up so much for Fraggy. But Latex will go ham on his own with that Reinhardt. That boost will just completely shatter Finland's lineup when Fraggy is trying to go for the Swedish team's DPS. And that went in Sweden's favor. Fraggy did not have the communication with the rest of his team. He did not know when to back off or when to go back into the backline to defend the rest of his team. And because of that, Fraggy just went, not Fraggy, but Latex went ham into Finland, and that punished them so much. And here we see the Earthshatter coming out, completely counters all of the ultimates being played by Finland. Fraggy is slow with the Ana boost, so he cannot do the damage that he is looking to perform. The Lucio sound boost will be able to hit him though. Now Fraggy is looking at full HP once again. He wants to do some heavy damage on the Swedish backline. There we see Kynnel just pushing up Latex with that Ana boost, as well as Mafu going in for Eps. getting some incredibly important picks here. And now Mafu will try to sneak back away from Axel, but Axel will notice him going down though, and that will be the push for Finland. They're looking for 2.5 minutes left on this payload. They will definitely get this in. The only question is how much time can they salvage for the next round, and what does Sweden need to do to attack even more efficient than Finland? Currently it is the last struggle, but we see Sabis and Fraggy picking out everybody in the Swedish team. Perky, the only one being alive, getting the double kill, but it's too late because it's in the Finnish backline and not the front line that is actually pushing the card. And that made Sweden lose the round. Once again, Finland 1-0 in matches, 3-0 on this map, and Sweden really needs this map to work out for them. Now they need to look at what is Finland's key point in defending at King's Row. What will they be able to salvage from the Finnish openings, or do they not have any openings? But Sweden is also looking so strong. They do not fail those combos that Finland pulls off. Sweden answers with their own combos, almost always putting up a really good challenge for Finland. Sweden just needs that one more step to push them over the brink.
They definitely need to do something about the Reinhardt and Ana combo. How many times have we seen Reinhardt being boosted now?
We have seen him being boosted probably at least 5 times this game already. And Fraggy with that boosted Reinhardt is way too scary to be left on his own. They either need to focus him down, which is really hard with that Ana boost, because all of a sudden you have increased movement speed, increased damage and decreased damage. So the healers have an easy time healing you. So instead of picking him out, they might be looking for some way to disable him. And we have seen Latex doing that with some great Earth Shatters, and also Esps with some great sleeps. The problem with the sleeps on Esp's side is that while Esp's sleeps are almost always on point, Fraggy as a Reinhardt is almost always next to his teammates, which makes him get out of the sleep as soon as some of the Swedish players try to pick off the defending or the Finland's players that do the damage for them.
Do you perhaps think that Sweden could benefit from some more CCing?
I think that Sweden right now might be looking at a Junkrat play, because that Junkrat can stop a Reinhardt at so many levels. The grenade to shoot you off your sort of charging, and the trap to stop you in your tracks so that you will get damaged while you stand there, not being able to go into the Swedish players' faces. I think that Junkrat will be one of those characters that might help Sweden relieve some stress.
Definitely. Or they could do a Finland and pick May.
Or they could do a Finland.
Anything can happen.
The problem with May currently is that she needs to be way too up close and personal, and that is too scary against this Fraggy, because Fraggy is just constantly putting up too much damage for Sweden to handle at the moment. So I really want to see that Junkrat play. Maybe get some high ground, sneaky high ground, just bombarding the Finnish team with stress of those grenades that hurt so much in that backline, or going for breaking that shield quickly to just be able to push into the Finnish team, wombo combing your ultis and catching everyone in the Finnish team off guard, killing them instantly with a good combo.
Speaking of good combos, you see that percentage meter on May?
That percentage
there we go.
Together with that Zarya is devastating, and Zarya's looking at 62%, Reinhardt is looking at 82%, and that is scary. Now that May can stop them in their tracks and just boost up the ultimates for the Finnish team, Sweden need to be careful at this point. As I say that, they go ham and get instantly walled off by the May. One of the solo picks are coming out so quickly for Finland with that boosted Fraggy, just picking out Latex quicker than they know it. And now they go for the last of the picks. Mako going ham together with Fraggy, and they do not even need the DPS currently because their tanks are so big on going into the Swedish faces. The full boosted Zarya's way more than enough to pick down a team together with that boosted Reinhardt, because all of a sudden you have these two targets that have too much damage for you to heal through, so you need to either back off or CC them to death. But now we see Sweden with almost all of their ultis up. But here we see Rat will actually be able to pick out Mako there in that Graviton Surge. The Graviton Surge was actually looking better for Finland because they had the anti-heal in that Graviton Surge. But now that Mafu is down, Sweden is looking at a great combo.
Wow!
Perky together with Rat going big on that Graviton Surge. The Dragon together with a 100% boosted Zarya is just too much damage to handle. Mafuk did not have the time to shield any of the supports. They quickly go down to that wombo combo. They had no opportunity to heal through that with no Zenyatta and no Lucio ulti that can keep them through that ult combo.
I guarantee that's one for the highlights for next week. That wombo combo.
That wombo combo is insane. That dual dragons just picking out everyone because it goes through the Reinhardt shield. All of a sudden the big threat Reinhardt shield becomes nullified because of Rat, and that makes them panic in that Zarya ulti. They really need their supports to kind of step back and let Finland and let the Finnish frontline be a little bit more laid back in their attacking currently. But as I say that, Himsi comes out great, picking off both Axel and Seeker with those hooks. Another pick up with the Rat. 3 players down from Sweden while Himsi is going ham with those hooks. Swedish players are just flying left and right. They do not know how to salvage this situation. The card is once again getting pushed back. Now Sweden has to look for what they are going to do to pick this up. Will they try to go for that super well played and super well performed Zarya ulti together with the Dragons? No, the Dragons will come out early to try to get through the Mei wall, but the Finnish team will be too quick to scout it out and just evade all of it. That was kind of a wasted Dragon, but Fragger will go down because Latex will just be too good with that boosted Reinhardt. But now he is both slept and freezed by Sapis. Together with Himsi, that will be huge damage coming up. And now we see Rat and and as I say that, even more great ulti combos come out. Sapis together with Himsi and Mafu just wipes the rest of the Swedish team that managed to scatter back and try to look for the rest of their team. This has been a series of ultis that are just completely timed into each other, so the Swedish team is really looking at a hard place to push.
This entire thing is just back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Just the thing that we want when it's the underdog versus the pros.
And here we see actually Latex trying to do what Frag is doing the best, going into that backline, pushing all of the Swedish players back, but he did not manage to push as many of the Finnish players back, so that he will actually die while he's going for that backline, while Fraggy, when Finland is looking at one less of a tank, will completely get shattered by that boosted Reinhardt.
Ooh, what do we see here?
We see a awesome
wombo combo.
We see an awesome wombo combo. Sadly though, Sapis, or not sadly, but impressively, Sapis is there in a second, freezing the whole Swedish team. So the combo goes for nothing actually. The combo was on spot, but the Finnish team just salvaged it, got the time that they were looking for. Now they're losing the team fight because of the Swedish player grouping up more quickly than Finland realized and just crushing that front line, which made the Finnish team have to back off with that backline that is so vulnerable without those tanks. And Sweden is looking as a great push here, but in the end it is Finland currently on top. Sweden will have to perform a great defense to counter this push when they only have 30 seconds left to get to the end, and Finland already have another 2 minutes and 10 seconds to attack. Sapis is now going for that Pharah play, trying to get more of the AoE damage into the Swedish team, and it is currently working. While Sector and Latex is picking down their own targets, Pharah is just in their backline picking out anyone who she wants, but as I say that, Perky realizes what Sapis is trying to do, picks her out together with Axel, who gets the Ana here, and now Sweden is looking for a new point that they can push. Now they need to kind of push off the Finnish team while they need the control of the payload. Here Latex is going a little too ham with that Earth Shatter, not realizing the Reinhardt shield will counter it and that he's actually out of range as well. But Perky and Latex will not be countered and not be discouraged from this. They will go in and pick out the Finnish players to get into this last hold. And now Sweden has another 1 minute and 30 seconds to get to the end. And this is really important for Sweden. Now they can once again kind of step back, look at what Finland is doing. Are they picking new characters? Do we have to build around anything else? Do we want to go for that hit scan on the Pharah, or as we are doing now, going for more of the flankers for that backline together with Latex? And currently we see Mafu just going sneakingly around that Reinhardt shield, almost completely, no, not almost, completely wiping out the Swedish team. She's also getting boosted. Now there is so much damage getting out from the Finnish team. Rat, on the other hand, is also looking for her target. He's picking out with that Tracer. He's going into the back line, while the Finnish team is going ham for that front line, boosting up his ultimate, going ham, trying to stop Finland in their tracks to pushing back the cart, while Sweden now goes for the second push. And the hit scan is not working on the Pharah. As I say that though, she will fall down, probably from Axel. Latex is going down, and this is 2 tanks going down really quickly, but Perker will instantly be there and salvaging the situation, picking down Hymsi. That is the scary Roadhog player in the team, catching Anna off guard, which is really big. She really needs to kill this Anna for the Swedish team to have one less healer to worry about, but Sapis with the Tracer is there, doing way too much damage together with Mafu, and Perky will actually go down, and so is Axel to Fraggy with these big combos. Fraggy uses the Earth Shatter on the point, and we will see Finland wiping Sweden. Sweden will not be able to pick this up, and it will be 2-0 to Finland in the final versus Sweden. And we have seen some intense back and forth, but in the end, it was the underdog who lost. But they will probably be back next week, because Sweden, you did perform. You showed the world that NIP is not something that scares you, and you will do everything in your might to dethrone them.
Definitely. Oh, and here we can see the NIP team has decreased to only 3 players now, unfortunately.
And here we see the Perky play. The Perky play in the beginning, where they just caught all of the Swedish players off guard.
That was beautiful.
And here we see the Hanzo ult that I commented about. It was used a little too prematurely, because when you have that Mei wall before you, you do not really know how to aim your twin dragons, and that can be
and
devastating.
that's vital. That's vital.
That is vital, because that opened the whole Graviton Surge for Finland to just go in on the Swedish team, use all of their ultimates, and with that Zarya on 100% boost by going into the Twin Dragons with the shield, backing out, and just that does so much damage. It does too much damage. And as soon as the Graviton Surge releases the Swedish players, Fraggy knows exactly that timer, Earth Shatters perfectly the rest of the remaining Swedish players, which weren't too many at the time even, and that sets them back. They need to look at a reset, one less Hanzo ult to get through that Reinhardt, and that is devastating, because now once again you have to look for Hanzo picks. That is really scary when you're facing those 3 tanks, especially that Roadhog, because you can no longer really go into that mid-range where you excel as the Hanzo because of the Roadhog hooks. You're really weak to those hooks, because he will instantly headshot kill you.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I do want to add, which might be obvious, I mean, the Swedish team are awesome. They were performing so well. Maybe NIP made it look easy, maybe not, but you can't forget that this Swedish team has performed magically tonight.
No doubt was the Swedish team amazing, because we cannot forget that Finland did not make it look easy. NIP is one of the top...
It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Exactly, and as NIP is one of the top European teams, Sweden might as well be looking at a very high tier team to be able to battle Finland at such even grounds most of the game, only falling back now and again on that short, like on the after the team fights were settled, Sweden had or Finland rather had the upper hand to pick out the Swedish players as they wanted, instead of Sweden trying to go for maybe another 1 or 2 picks or trying to group. They were kind of scattered, allowing Finland to pick them off, resetting all of their ultimates that were used at team fight, while Sweden now instead had to look at how are they going to reset their positions, where are we going to push from, where is the Finnish team defending. So Finland always had 1 or 2 less things to worry about. It was either the communication or the ultimate timing or just the ultimates being up at all time that made Sweden sometimes fall behind this Finnish team. But this was definitely no easy task for NIP. They went against this Swedish team head on in this awesome final.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome. I mean, if this is the level we can expect at the mega final of Overwatch Cup, the creme de la creme, the playoffs.
The playoffs.
Then I'm in. I'm in all the way. I want to see that. Preferably not cast that, because I'm not the main caster, but I will definitely be glued to my television.
And so should you, because on these playoffs we will see some amazing team performing on top level for that $5,000 in cash prizes. There will be national teams facing pro teams, and as we have seen today, the national teams are not weak. They will give every run for their money to the professional teams. It will be a hard victory for anyone who goes to the top on the 5th and 7th of October.
Definitely, Lovey. Definitely.
But to honor our winners and to just show the bracket what happened here tonight, we will see... actually no, we will wait with that just a second, and we can talk about the semi-final a little bit, because today we had a little bit of a bummer with Finland going directly into the final, because
definitely.
Iceland did not have the team that they needed. So Iceland actually had to give a walkover to Finland, and instead it was Sweden and Denmark brawling it out in the first semi-final. Sweden came on top, performed insanely well against this NIP team, and really gave them a run for their money. And it was just an awesome series of games today. And here we see Sweden sadly losing in the final versus NIP, but they will recover. They will be here the next final. Finland going off to the playoffs to face the other pro teams that are waiting for them for that prize pool. But there is a twist.
Oh?
Since Finland won, they cannot participate next week.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But there's some other teams that can participate next week.
Ooh, I wonder which they are.
And I think that you have some information about this.
Oh yes, indeed. Would you be my pointer, please?
I will be your pointer, because here we have...
for Sweden, we have publiclear.se. For Iceland, we have esports.is. Norway, gamer.no. Denmark, esport.dk. And Finland, fel.gg. But never mind Finland. We already have a Finnish team for next week.
We already have a Finnish team for or not for next week, but we already have a qualifying Finnish team.
That's true.
So
Thank you for correcting me.
Sadly, Finland does not have a participant in next week's qualifier, but next week's qualifier will also be our last qualifier. So this is your final chance as a viewer, together with your teammates, to come here and prove yourself.
It's time to hurry up, guys, if you want to participate.
This is the last week. This is your last chance to be here and just shine in the King of Nordic. But something else that shines is money.
Ooh, now you're talking my language.
And money is given out by gift cards today.
Definitely.
More specifically, G2A gift cards. And what we have asked you to do as a viewer during this whole broadcast is that you should tweet us at #G2A, #King of Nordic.
Yes.
And you should write something about...
Just talk to us.
Talk to us about anything, and you will be able to receive a $20 gift card. And I think that we will be looking at a winner pretty soon.
I think so too, actually. Actually, I've been sneaking a little bit, checking, and we've had nice conversations on Twitter. Ooh.
And
what do we have here?
We have our winner, Yuga121. It's really fun watching King of Nordic while taking breaks from the school studies. And while that is great, focus on your studies. School is #1 priority.
Screw the studies. You got 20 euros now. You can buy loot boxes. Screw the studies.
But for staying in school, you actually get these $20 or 20 euros, not dollars. And if you stay in school, you will also evolve your brain so that you can be here next week under pressure performing in this King of Nordic tournament.
The only school you should go to is esports school and participate in King of Nordic and getting a lot of these and a lot of these.
Because in the playoffs, of course, we are looking at this great prize pool that you want to win. You want to show up here, show the support for your country, or as a viewer, show your support to your country at #King of Nordic. But I think we might also have another winner. I'm not 100% sure, because we have had another tournament running in the background while we have casted these incredible games tonight, and that is an Overwatch Origins Edition key.
Nice.
And to win this key?
What people had to do is to send in a selfie with their favorite Overwatch character, right?
That is it. You had to send us a selfie with your favorite character.
But the competition is already closed because we already have a winner, if I'm not mistaken.
We already have a winner. So sadly for everyone joining us now, you're a little bit too late. The VOD will be awesome with these games we have played, so check those out. But for those of you that have been with us for the whole night, here is the last winner of you guys for the Overwatch Edition key.
Lasse Christensen, and he has hashtagged all of the stuff that we wanted him to. And his favorite character is Soldier76. Good choice. Good choice, my man. Good choice.
Together with that sneaky Ana, that is... Oh no, it wasn't the Ana I saw in the background. My bad. It was just the Soldier.
Indeed.
My eyes are playing a trick on me, but congratulations. Maybe it was
Ooh,
Sombra.
who knows?
But congratulations to you, and both of our winners, both Yuba and you, Lasse, need to follow us on Twitter so that we can send you a DM with both of the codes to your separate prizes.
Definitely. Easy as that.
Easy as that. But we don't end there. On Fridays, we have something that you are responsible of, am I right?
Yeah, I suppose. We have the King of Nordic CSGO, and on Friday we're having the super special, awesome King of the Kings, the final episode of King of Nordic. Well, at least for the season. And it's gonna be amazing. We have a lot of cool prizes. For instance, we have a Samsung curved screen that we're giving out to our viewers of the King of Nordic, King of the Kings. So that's just one of the prizes. We usually give away knife skins and real life knives sometimes, and we're giving away so much cool stuff. So don't miss that if you are a fan of Counter-Strike Go.
And just as you love us, we love you, and that's why we're giving all of this away. But for some of you that are interested in the playoffs, we have so many times repeated that there will be 4 professional teams joining. And a little sneak peek is that we currently have Reunited, Misfits, and also Melty Esports.
Really?
We still have some cards.
Oh my.
Some unknown cards, some jokers in the back. So look out for the 4 pro teams that will be joining us 5th and 7th of October in the playoffs versus the national teams.
That's gonna be awesome. I'm psyched. As I said earlier, I don't want to repeat myself, but I am going to. I'm really excited if those games in the playoffs are just as awesome as they were today.
Or even better.
Or even better?
Even better.
I don't know.
But
I just I can't speak anymore.
That's
how excited I am.
Because of the excitement that we are feeling for the playoffs. But we will be back next week with the last qualifications for your nation to face off against these pro teams. Go to our partner sites, qualify, and we will see you here next week, 9 CEST, and we will probably even be giving away more stuff.
Ooh, probably.
But this is all for now. Finland won this tournament, or this qualifier, going into the playoffs versus this super strong Swedish team. We hope to see you next week. We will be here.
I think that's it.
Will you?
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!